Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Today is Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. Back with another episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm truly grateful. And with this particular video, I'm going to piss some people off. What's new? Some people going to call me a sellout. What's new? And other derogatory names. What's new? But I'm going to tell the truth anyway. And it's about us, my people. You know, my people. Since Trump has taken office, I've been looking all up and down my Facebook feed. And I've been seeing a lot of my people who are for her, Kamala supporters, Democrats. That ain't gonna change. They're gonna be Democrat no matter what. So they looking for any reason to say, aha, see, we told you not to vote for him. That's what you get. They looking for any little thing to complain about. They looking for problems, not solutions. So they just waiting for a gotcha moments. And I'm looking at them and I'm just shaking my head. Like y'all are so out there. Y'all grabbing, you're reaching, trying to find something wrong to a logic escapes you. And where I'm going with this, all throughout my timeline on Facebook, all I'm seeing, and it's from Democrats. Let's get that understood. It's Democrats only. They're the only ones doing it. Trump just took away our civil rights. Trump just rescinded the 1965 Civil Rights Act. Hold on, y'all. Let me explain something to y'all before I go any further. Those of y'all who accuse me of being a Trump-loving bootlicker. I don't put nobody before me and my family. I'm not going to let anybody do something to hurt me and my family, and I'm going to still be on their side. If President Trump is doing anything that I see that's going to hurt me and my family, I'm going to be the first one to get on it. So I don't know where y'all getting this idea from. I'm just taking up for him, whether he's wrong or right. You is crazy. I don't put nobody ahead of me and my family. If Trump is doing something that's going to hurt my family, I'm going to call him out on it. Let's get that understood before we go any further. See, y'all just, like my people, we're too emotional. We think with our feelings too much. We done got too feely. The black community, we ain't strong as we used to be. We too emotional. We sitting around waiting on somebody else to help us. That's just my opinion, my view. You believe what you want to believe. Not on what I'm talking about. So now the talk of the black peoples is Trump is rescinding the 1965 Civil Rights Act. And they will twist on those words and play with y'all mind to have you thinking that all the stuff that Dr. Martin Luther King marched for and Malcolm X and all of our ancestors with the fire hoses and the dogs and Bull Connor up there in Birmingham, all that they went through for our civil rights, the Civil Rights Act, they will have you thinking That's just what he just did away with. He can't do away with that. What he just did was remove an executive order signed by Lyndon Baines Johnson, which pretty much was diversity, equity, and inclusion. It ain't had nothing to do with the civil rights that we have. He did not take our civil rights. That's in law. He just signed an executive order to do away with federal contracts being able to look over one group of people because they have a quota where they got to hire another group of people. In other words, you can't fix discrimination against one group, which is the black people. Yes, black people have been discriminated against and still are. Before Trump took office, before Trump ever ran for president, we've been getting discriminated against on the job. I know it. Okay, I know that. No legislation that Obama came with, no legislation that Biden came with, Clinton, nobody has stopped that. They have done nothing to end discrimination on the job against black people. So what is it that Donald Trump just did to hurt our cause when we've been still being discriminated against anyway? What he just did, in a nutshell, is he didn't solve the discrimination problem against everybody. You can't fix discrimination against black people by discriminating against another group of people. Let me repeat that. If one group of people is getting discriminated against, the solution for it is not to go discriminate against another group. That's not going to stop this group from being discriminated against. We still going to get discriminated against, and now you get discriminated against these people too. In other words, whoever came up with this bright idea, the way to fix discrimination against black people is to discriminate against white people. That's the solution to it. No. You have to end discrimination against anybody. That's the solution. What he just rescinded was legal discrimination against white people. Because it said that, say for instance, you have and it's on a federal level, it's not all over. Say for instance, you got, in other words, it's another form of, what they call that? Affirmative action. I'm a black man. I ain't never benefited from affirmative action. I don't know nobody that benefited from affirmative action. Even with affirmative action, we still out here getting discriminated against. What Trump just did away with does not make discriminating against black people legal now. It does not say we got to go to the back of the bus now. We got to drink out of private water, black and white water fountains. That's not what he just did. He did not take no civil rights. He can't do that. Y'all need to learn something before you get on here, because you're making yourself and the rest of my people look bad. All Trump, he said he was going to do away with it, and he don't. Everything he said he was going to do, he's doing. Oh, that go Project 2025, coming true. That ain't no Project 2025. He said he was going to do away with the DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is hiring people that ain't qualified just because they're of a certain race. Now we're going to get back to we're only hiring based on the most qualified person. Will there be discrimination? Yes. It was discrimination before he signed this. Black people. Are we going to act like we wasn't getting discriminated against under Biden on the job? Are we going to act like we wasn't getting discriminated against under Obama on the job? or we just only getting discriminated against when Trump in office. That ain't gonna go on my watch. I'm gonna tell the truth. Trump is not the author and the creator of discrimination against black people in the workforce. Even with affirmative action, even with the Civil Rights Act of 1965, all these laws and legislations that we have in place that's supposed to protect us, we still get discriminated against. I know I have. And it's illegal. So is stealing. Stealing is illegal. People still steal. Robbery is illegal. People still rob. Breaking and entering is illegal. People still do it. Follow me. Discrimination based on creed, nationality, race, religion, sexual orientation is illegal. It's illegal, but it still happens. Trump did not make discrimination legal by rescinding an executive order. He did not remove the 1965 Civil Rights legislation. That's in law. Go look. It's still there. That's not what he did. Stop lying. Stop letting people lie to you. Stop letting people pull on your heartstrings. Stop letting people play with your emotions. All he did, because whether you know it or not, we always say we want people to listen to us, black people. We want people to hear what we're going through and understand us. But we ain't willing to listen to other people. Like for years, we've been saying white people ain't listening to what we saying we're going through. Well, we haven't been listening to what white people have been saying they've been going through. And in an effort to stop us from being discriminated against, they started discriminating against white folks. Passing up white people for jobs because we already got enough white folks. Let's just say, for instance, example, you're on a job. The law or the legislation or the executive order Trump just did, or just overturned rather, it said, if you're on a job, a federal contract, you have to have a certain amount of white folks, black folks, Chinese, women, gay, what have you. And if you don't have any that's qualified for the position, you got to hire them anyway. So here we got, they already got 3 white people work here. So they can't hire no white folks. Even though the position that's up for grabs, we ain't had many black people that do this job. We ain't had many gay people. We ain't got nobody who really do this job. Let's just say, for instance, underwater welding, right? Say, for instance, that was a field that white people excelled at and got more experience doing because they did have a head start. So they got more experience doing underwater welding. But with this law that he just got rid of, you got 2 white people that got the job. Well, we can't hire them a white folk. We got to find some gay folks. We got to find a woman. We got to find a black man. We got to find, even though this is not a field that they've been doing. But we still can't hire this qualified white man that's been doing this job for 40 years. We got to go find some black guy with no experience. We got to go find, he might have experience. He might only been doing it. He just finished school doing it. His hand's still shaky underwater. But we got to hire him because the law says we got to hire a black guy. Whether he more qualified than his white guy that we just kicked out because, hey, we can't hire no white folks. We know you've been doing this 30 years, Bob, but this law says we got to hire Tyrone. But shit, Tyrone ain't got no experience. Well, we have to figure it out. But I'm not going to lose my company hiring you, even though you're more qualified, but you white. So I can't hire you because we already got 3 white folks. I can't hire 4 white people. I got to hire 2 black folks. And then I got to hire 2 women to do a job that they haven't been doing. But I got to hire them anyway based on their race. Do that make any sense? If you own a company, who you want to hire? The most qualified, no matter what race they are? Or you want the government telling you, you got to hire this dude, even though you looking at his experience. Damn, he don't know what the hell he's doing. But he's black. And the law says you got to have 2 blacks. You got to have 3 women. That's what he just got rid of. He did not get rid of the Civil Rights Act, ladies and gentlemen. Our civil rights are still intact, black people. You still ain't got to go to the back of the bus, Miss Edna. You still ain't got to go around the back of Walmart and go to the back door, Miss Lucy. Mr. Willie Earl. You don't have to drink out of the black-only water fountain, Willie Earl. You can still drink out of any water fountain you want to drink out of, Willie Earl. Miss Edna, if you want to sit in the front of the bus, you still can. You can sit at the lunch counter. Miss Pearl. They lying to y'all. They playing on your emotions. What he just got rid of ain't benefited us no way. We still out here now we're going to get amnesia. How many of y'all have affirmative action benefited black folk? It ain't did a damn thing for me. It might have helped you. I don't know nobody. We still out here getting discriminated against. All you did was add white folk to the mix. You ain't fixed nothing. To end discrimination, you got to end all of it. You don't fix one problem by creating another. I'm going to stop discriminating against black folks and start discriminating against white folks. But to some of y'all, it makes sense. I know. Some of y'all, it makes sense too. It don't make sense to me. And that's all he just did. All he said was, we're not going to discriminate against nobody. Not even white folk. Yes, discrimination is a problem. But this legislation he just got rid of, that wasn't a fix, is what I'm saying. That didn't fix it. It only made it worse. Let me repeat that. What he just did away with did not fix discrimination against black people, women, gay people. That's still going on. All it did was increase discrimination against a whole nother group of people. You ain't gonna fix it like that. You're only making it worse. So let's go back to the drawing board and see what we're going to, and we got laws on the book that says he didn't sign no executive order saying discrimination is now legal. You can discriminate against black folks. That's not what that says. It's still illegal. It is. Go check. Don't take my word for it. Discrimination, housing discrimination, on the job discrimination is still illegal. All he got rid of was DEI, affirmative action, which has been gone anyway. That shit ain't benefit no black folk. Maybe a handful of y'all, Kamala Harris. I know y'all don't want to hear that. And you might unsubscribe. And I don't care. Get it, got it, good. Enjoy your ride, Miss Essie, on the front of the bus. Put your marching shoes up. Some of y'all just looking for a good march to go to, a good rally. A lot of the older black people are bored. They retired. They need something to do. So they looking for some discrimination to go fight against. Uh-oh, Will Earl. What up, Jimmy? You heard what Trump did, right? Uh-oh, it's time to bring out the Stacey Adams. Bring out the sign, let's march. They looking for a march. They looking for something to protest. Where there ain't nothing. Yes, discrimination is still a problem in our country. But that legislation he just got rid of wasn't a solution for it. That's all I'm saying. That wasn't a fix. What we need to do is enforce the law that's on the books. That's how you end discrimination. If you get found guilty of discriminating against somebody on the job, you ain't go to prison. How about that? Just an idea, just an idea. So it won't be no marching today, Willie Earl. Won't be no we shall overcome, holding hands, rocking side by side. Miss Nettie, not today. Try again later. Get it, got it good. Bye.